Good morning, all. 9/12/2019. I hope all of you Americans took a little time out of your day to remember what happened back several years ago on 9/11 to each and everybody that was affected by that and still being affected by that. My heart goes out to you and best wishes, and hope us as a country never has to go through that again. But I found something kind of interesting. I thought I'd bring it out. This is back in 1965, guys. Maryland Senate Bill 348, prohibiting of cloud seeding and the use of ground. I'm gonna break it down, and the use of ground generators. Guys, this is back in 1965. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, the Congress, by the public groups and private groups, and desirable to prevent further conflict until this solution can be found. Now, therefore, Section 1 be enacted by the General Assembly of Maryland. The new Section 110A be it hereby added to Article 66C and annotated Code of Maryland 1957 edition titled Natural Resources, subtitled Agriculture, to follow immediately after Section 110 thereof, to be under the new subheading Cloud Seeding, and to read as follows. 110A. In or over any part of the state for a period beginning with the effective date of this section and ending on September 1st, 1967, it is unlawful for any person to engage in any form of cloud seeding or any other artificial form of weather modification. It is unlawful for any person during the period in the subsection of this subsection to use any ground generator for the purposes of weather modification. Violation of this section is punishable upon conviction by fine not to exceed $1,000 or by imprisonment not to exceed 3 years, or by both fine and imprisonment. And it be further enacted that this act is effective for the period from the date of its effectiveness until September 1st, 1967. And be it further enacted that this act is hereby declared to be an emergency measure and necessary for the immediate preservation of public health and safety, and having been passed by a yea and nay vote supported by 3/5 of the members elected to each of the two houses of the General Assembly, the same shall take effect from the date of its passage. But what brought that on? I guess it got pretty ugly. But whereas there is a public need for a dispassionate review of the cloud seeding problems so that there will be no repetition of the unfortunate incidents of violence which have occurred recently, and whereas since responsible people have taken opposite views on this question, some actions must be taken to prove or disprove one or the other opposing sides of cloud seeding. I don't ever remember reading anything about that in my history books. I don't know about you all, but I thought it was kind of interesting. There you go, guys. Anybody that has any doubts on all this stuff, there you go. But I just found that one interesting. Here's another one I pulled up real quick. Let me blow it up a little bit. This is from the Journal of Applied Meteorology, guys. The seeding hypothesis used in Project Storm Fury, U.S. Department of Commerce, NOAA, is based upon definite cause and effect relationship that, in turn, are based upon theoretical and observational studies. Basically, the hypothesis calls for the seeding of clouds at radii greater than those of the eye wall to enhance convection outside the eye wall region. If convection can be successfully stimulated part of the low-level inflow that originally maintained the eye wall convection, it will be directed into the convection at a radius greater than that of the eye wall. Thus, the transport of angular momentum and water vapor to the old eye wall will be reduced. As the region of major vertical mass transport is shifted to a greater radius of the maximum winds diminished because of conservation of momentum. The requirements, therefore, to objectively evaluate the results of hurricane seeding are: observe the entire sequence of changes that occurs in the meteorological elements to test whether this sequence corresponds to the hypothesized chain of events in space and time. Determine the statistical significance of the correspondence. It is well known that the natural time and space variability of meteorological elements measured in hurricanes is very high, a fact established both by land-based observations and those obtained from aircraft. This is true even when a mature storm is in apparent state-to-state condition for a period of a day or two or more with no obvious torrential cycles or longer-term trends. This, of course, causes serious problems in testing and the results of seeding when the classical designs for comparative experiments are used. But see, back then they had ideas on what can slow hurricanes down. This is from 1977. National Hurricane NOAA, Department of Atmospheric Sciences. Guys, look how much technology has advanced in our lifetimes, especially us that's 40s. I mean, I can remember when the first computer came out that I played with at school. So, as I say, and the whole point I'm doing this, you'll hear me say it again on this channel, is technology can be used for good, technology can be used for bad. And now are you guys starting to understand why I was so upset, why I get so upset when these places are getting so blasted, flooded out, demolished? They know what causes it. They know how to prevent it if they choose to. And if they know what causes it and they can diminish it, I think the opposite could happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not a weatherman. Don't claim to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed these little articles I pulled up tonight. Anyway, you all stay safe, have a good night, and I'll be diving into more. Stay safe.